I went to C Company headquarters as the Corps-wide civic action officer for the rest of my tour. Well, it was fine. It was the same, kind of the same thing I had been doing, only on a bigger scale. Now we're talking about 9 camps to supply. And a lot of my time was spent going into the city of Da Nang and meeting with and negotiating with suppliers of rice, of rattan, and things like that came through Vietnamese channels, but through us and then out to the camps. That was quite interesting. But that's where I had the only time I really worked for the government and had experience with the use it or lose it budget mentality. Exactly. I remember the pressure to, you got to keep going or we aren't going to have as much. So keep. I mean, there was a lot of money being spent and a lot being wasted too. I remember when the Cav left our camp. I think they ended up staying for a week and a half or so too, maybe. When they left, it was just as slick as it was when they came in. It was almost like a vacuum cleaner had come in, whoosh, and they were gone. And I remember taking a drive out to the airfield and saying, whoa, look at all this ammo. Look at mines and grenades. Too much to put on the helicopters. I mean, overstock. They're gone to the next place, and it's a small example, but hey, it's just money, But anyway, well, Tet, we were in this headquarters situation. The closest action to us specifically was our compound at headquarters was on the beach, a little bit on the outskirts of Da Nang, and right next to us was the Marble Mountain Marine helicopter field, and that got rocketed. That gets your attention. That happened several times. We could see across the city as Da Nang Main Air Base was being hit that night. But that was also not unusual because it would get hit occasionally. I meant to mention earlier, when I got there in Vietnam, there were 9 camps. When I left, there were 7. Because during that time, we lost Long Vay during the Tet Offensive. And this is the new Long Vay. And we lost the other one that I mentioned in the beginning, Cam Duc, which had been so quiet it was a joke until it wasn't. And when it wasn't, it was serious. And a larger number of American troops died there in the 2 days of that May 10 to 12 of '68. Well, the way it turned out, my opinion was, and the news we got through Army Times and Radio Vietnam or what Armed Forces, was it that yes, they hit a number of places, but we creamed them. So, from my point of view, was and still is that it was a crushing loss for them, except in the sense that it was a kind of a public relations, I hate to use the word victory, but it was a I suppose, a public relations success from their point of view, and maybe worth all the bodies that they suffered. Because it probably was the linchpin that turned the American public, I'm sorry to say, against the effort.